Oh my gosh. This is so weird that you're asking these questions because I was like just journaling about this today, but I think I've learned that I'm really strong. Like I'm able to overcome things a lot. Like I never thought I would overcome some of the things I did, and today was like a huge like realization. Like I was like, I'm so strong and I rock, and that question just reminded me of that. I was thinking about it and I was like, you know what? I realized that I'm like, I don't need to be scared of anything anymore because I know that I've been through some stuff and I'm strong enough to beat it. It's kind of deep, but
probably that I am independent. Like it took me a long time to find that, I guess. So like it is important to know like you can function by yourself. You don't necessarily need anyone else, but you want them to be there. So it's important to know that.
Carve, hop in this. He's asking us questions.
I think just figure out, what you like, and then just start taking small steps until like it's a big part of your life.
Kind of like going off what he said, just take one step at a time, and just when you're going for something, really go for it and try and excel and do your best.
To not look back, because I've definitely made some bad decisions. I've definitely regretted some stuff, but you can never go back and change that. You can only learn and move forward to be better. And I think that all just comes with time and consistency. And it is really important to remember the past, but to not stay in the past, to reflect on it and then to build a better future,
I'm a good-hearted person, but I'm not too nice to everybody at all. So that's one thing I can say about me.
I don't know. I'm not sure I know anything about myself. I've learned a bunch of things about myself, I guess. I've learned I'm very competitive. I hate rancor. I have a better singing voice than anybody who knows me would necessarily let on. It's taken me a very long time to calm down, but I'm happy I learned how to do that.
I guess that I like people. I don't know, it sounds weird, but I enjoy being around people and I enjoy seeing a smile on their face every now and then. That makes me happy, so.
I am the opposite of perfect, and I beat myself up for it every day, but I'm coming to terms with the fact that once again, that is being human, I guess.
That I have ADHD and I can't focus for anything. And knowing that I have ADHD is better than not knowing. Also, I'm going to ask you a question. How many seagulls would you have to see around here to know that there's something suspicious happening?
I'm like really good with, well, not right now. Don't take this for like any demonstration of what I'm about to say, but like I'm good at talking to people because I'm a bartender, but right now it's probably not a good time for me. So.
Probably that being kind gets me farther in life than not.
The most important thing I've learned about myself, let's see, what did I learn about myself? The most important thing I've learned about myself is that I have no tolerance for bullshit. I do the best I can for other people and enjoy my friends, and at this stage, well, I guess always, I save myself for the people I care about and the people I have fun with, and I try and avoid the life suckers.
Whenever I have an aspiration, a goal, I tend to really fight for that. I know this about myself. I really, push myself to exceed certain limits, limits that, I wouldn't think that I can, get through, but I usually push through and I get to it. I'm a goal seeker and a goal achiever. I would think that's the biggest thing about myself, and that's why I'm here, it's another goal I'm trying to get through. So, and I know I can do it, I put that in, that's my mindset that I can. So that's all, yeah.
That no matter what, I think my friends love me, God loves me, and it doesn't matter who judges me because I know at the end of the day that I'm loved.
That I'm okay with being alone. And I wouldn't say that in like a sad way, but like I've learned to kind of accept being by myself and doing things by myself. I don't really need a big group of people to be happy with myself, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So yeah.
Just being myself. I just learned that, everyone's going to have an opinion on you, but it's how you respond to it. Just block it out and just be yourself. That's something I've learned a lot.
Not to hold grudges on people.
The most important thing is probably that I'm a really stubborn person, So it's good to know because I can like gauge whether I don't know. I can gauge whether I'm like doing okay with people or like what, or should I like stand my ground or kind of back up a little bit.
That I pay attention to things that I don't need to pay attention to and don't pay attention to things I do need to pay attention to. Just like in general life things, like losing things, I lose things all the time and I never pay attention where I put them. But then like silly little trivial things I always remember and there's no need to.
That I am more competent and I have abilities that I never know that like I have. Like I tend to doubt myself, but I've learned that every time I doubt myself, I always perform better than I would have ever expected.
To not let others judge you and just like to be yourself because, yeah, people will like you more if you do that.
I am toxic. That is the most important. That is what I've realized about myself. I am toxic. Yeah, I love being toxic. Fuck it.
Ah! Stop fighting people.
Yeah.
Most important thing I've learned about myself is that there's a lot of potential in myself and as well as anyone, as if you're willing to find it or willing to do self-improvement and gain new experiences and that sort of thing.
That I don't know me and I won't until I like experience more. So I have to go through a lot more in my life until like I think I really truly know who I am, and that just takes time.
The most important thing I've learned by myself is that I need patience in order to get things done in my life and in order to cope with certain problems I come across.
Really put trust in yourself, love yourself, and really don't give up on yourself, really. That's the main key right there. Just over the years, just trial and error every time. Failure, it doesn't mean you give up right there. You keep trying after you fail. Just keep trying. You're gonna succeed one day.
That I don't have as much patience as I think I do. And that I need to work on myself sometimes. And that it's not other people that affect me, it's actually me, and I gotta control my emotions. And I think everyone's responsible for themselves.
It's a little broad, but yeah, I would just say that for me, I'm going through a pretty good time right now with my life. There's not too much struggle going on personally, but growing up was really hard, and I kind of learned through it all that I guess my quote for this is that circumstance can affect happiness, but it can't dictate it. So there's been a lot of just shitty stuff that's gone on throughout my life, mainly when I was younger, and I just kind of learned that stuff's always going to happen, maybe at different parts of your life, and of course it's going to impact you, and you have to address it. You have to sit with that. Life can't always be great, but you can't let that dictate how you think and how you go about your day constantly, because it's not necessarily about what you're going through. It's more so about like how you address it. So that's probably the most important thing I've learned about myself.
The most important thing I've discovered about myself, you said, is I guess that I'm able to have some afterthought about every day and the interactions I've had, and think about, what I've said, and to see how, people have reacted or how they would have reacted if I sometimes said what I actually wanted to say, if I'm like not in a good mood or something like that. But I guess trying to, here's the thing. I also like to think I'm outspoken when I see something that I really don't think is right, either morally or just practices being done that could lead to something, or there's not enough consideration. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I try to consider many things, and when I see people who don't consider anything about anyone, which is especially hard for some things at a school, everyone has an opinion on policies they make, whether it be good or bad, but I'm sorry if this question's a little all over the place. Kind of stream of consciousness here. But trying to, if you call everyone out, who's going to be the guy who calls out the person who calls everyone else out? So, you can't, everyone needs to be, everyone needs to reflect now and then, whether it be someone else saying, hey, you're doing this, stop it. or maybe you can improve on that, which, these aren't normal people conversations, but there's stuff I like to think about. I don't know if that answered your question, or even if that's the answer I wanted to answer, but hopefully you can piece something out of that.